Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Ben here. I'm just doing a quick little pre-episode review of everything. So, it looks like... Well, first off, hello to everybody. Let me go ahead and put the Storium link up in this the chat real quick, just so that it's available for anybody who might be interested. I usually end up forgetting about this until the very end of the live stream and then putting it up kind of right before I log off. So, all right. So, we've got everything kind of ready to roll. Big thing that we need to do is figure out where we're going next. So I need to have my little lance breakdown open here so I can refer back to that. And we've still got some stuff going on here. Centurion and the Black Knight need a little bit of work. That's not too big a deal because we are going to get the heck out of Galatea. Now, I think what we might want to do in this particular case, there is a travel contract available here in Tau Ceti, New Earth 2116 plus. So Tau Ceti is the original name, and then it got renamed New Earth 2116. So, looks like it's actually a pretty decent location. It's got a Comstar presence. It's an inner sphere level civilization. It's a manufacturing world. It's got recreation, research. It's rich. It's a mega city. Like, there's just a ton of stuff going on. So as a result, we might be able to find some good stuff to buy. Hopefully, it'll have decent contracts. I almost lost the word there. So hopefully they'll have some good contracts and everything like that, and we can go check that out that way. So if I go to the contracts, let's take a quick look. Yeah, last mech standing, Lyran Commonwealth. So it looks like it's offering us a battle. It's 1.5 skulls. Deployments are interesting because they're basically extended contracts where you can't go and take other contracts between the missions that the deployment decides you're going to take. So it can literally give you a contract, you go and finish it, and as soon as you come back and you start the timer for your mechs to repair, it gives you another contract immediately. And if you don't have mechs to take on that contract, you're kind of stuck. So you basically have to break the deployment contract, and it becomes a whole thing. It costs a lot of money. But it's 1.5 skulls. We've got enough skilled pilots and just enough mechs. I think we can squeak it out. So I think we're going to take it. Let's build up some money. We'll do a few battles, pass some time, and yeah, let's see here. Ugh, that's not great. It's actually really terrible salvage options here. Like, the money looks like it would be good, but I mean, we wouldn't get great salvage. What other contracts do we have, or what other systems do we have? Another thing we have to keep in mind is that the travel time, we have to make sure that we've got enough time to get to wherever we're going without passing 2 financial reports, because we've only got enough to pay for 1 financial report right now. I mean, alternatively, we could try just traveling to Tau Ceti and just dealing with whatever contracts are there. We've got summer, Kent, but it's poor. It's got a Comstar presence, but it doesn't look like it's going to be providing a whole lot of cool stuff. We got Zolikofen, which is okay. So it's got an industrial manufacturer. It's 24 days. Travel cost is 25,000. It looks like it's very similar to Tau Ceti. It's got the former Star League presence, the Comstar presence, large population, mining, recreation, research, rich travel hub. Actually, this may be the way we want to go. I don't think we want to take the deployment. I kind of thought we did, but looking at how poor the salvage payout would be for each of the missions, I don't think it's worth it. So I say that we travel to Zolikofen, and we'll see what we get. So, 24 days. We've got, I forget how many days we had until our next financial report, but
Hey boss, we've just completed those upgrades.
23 days. So we'll get there just as the financial report hits, and then we'll be able to do some more stuff. So, do we want to try to... Can we sneak anything in under engineering? 360... Nope, that's cutting it a little bit too close. No, we can totally do this. Improved automation for 130,000. Let's go ahead and do that. It'll take 15 days, so it'll be done by the time we get there, plus 3 tech points. That is a pretty good deal. And we'll have enough money, again, to kind of cover our financial report still. I don't think there's anything going on in the mech bay that we need to do. I think we kind of finished everything up there. So we've got our 6 mechs kind of hanging out, ready to go. And yeah. Oop. Sorry, game kind of froze up on me for a second. There we go. It's weird. It's really hanging up when I pull up each of my mechs. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we wanted to do with any of our mechs here. I think they're set up and ready to go. So let's just pass some time, get to the new location, and let's take a contract. So we have a little bit of a discussion going on at the moment. It's possible we might end up rebooting the campaign and kind of resetting back to what our original plan was for the campaign, which was originally going to be just focusing on the pilots and kind of like their interactions between missions and stuff like that, kind of getting ready for coming into each live stream episode. A couple of the players have kind of started to feel a little bit disconnected from everything that's going on, and I can't say that I disagree with that. It got a little bit further afield from what I originally had planned, and so I didn't necessarily do a great job of kind of planning for the new kind of twists and turns that the format took. Ventilation trouble. In the daily briefing, Darius brings up the barracks climate control system. Apparently it started cycling randomly between tolerable and the inside of a mech cockpit in a desert. Dr. Murad just shrugs. I can replace the fan controllers again, but it may not be money well spent. Something else is going on in the unimproved power conduits, but as the Argo is very old and very complicated, tracking it down has been difficult. Let's go ahead and just replace the fan controllers. I don't want to lose morale or anything like that, and we can afford 10,000 C-bills. So let's do that. But yeah, so there's been some talk with some of the players possibly... well, I had suggested the possibility of resetting, and a couple of my players have basically said that they would be okay with that. And I'm just waiting to see what some of the other players, some of the other pilot players say, and kind of go from there. So we may end up resetting. If we do, then I would upgrade to the most recent version of the Roguetech mod and kind of figure out how to go from there. The new Roguetech version actually has some cool stuff going on, so we might be able to play with like some narrative elements there that might be a lot of fun. So we're at Zolikofen. Let's go ahead and visit the store because I'm curious what they've got available. Ooh, they've got a couple Griffin parts available. And they've got Locust parts, but I don't really care so much about that. AC 20 plus, we don't need that. LRM 15 plus plus, times 2 stability damage. cargo grips, excavator claws. The hands, melee 30% damage. Nothing really all that interesting, honestly. Okay. Well, that's fine. We didn't really have a whole heck of a lot of money to spend anyways. So let's go ahead and see what kind of contract. Actually, let's take a look at the barracks first, because I'm sure we've got some XP to spend. Behemoth has enough for a level of tactics, but I don't think that's really kind of what she's going for. Let's see.
Aye, aye. Receiving you. Awaiting orders.
It looks to me like we don't have anything that we really want to spend money on at this point, or spend XP on at this point. I guess it's technically like money for pilots, but nothing we want to spend just yet. We'll keep saving up. So let's just see what contracts are available, and we will take what we've got. With the Black Knight, we can probably jump up actually a couple skull points to take on some tougher missions. So for whatever reason with Roguetech, the first time you load the contract list in a region, it's going to give you a very truncated list. So after I load it up, I always have to go back to the Argos screen and then back into the contract screen, and it'll usually give me some more stuff. Yeah, there we go. You can see here there's a much longer list than there was before. Now we actually have a bunch of deployments, and these actually offer much better salvage. This is actually, I kind of wish I could take this, but we need some money to actually get there. So I think in this case, let's take clean out the mercs. It's 2 skull, but I think we can roll this. Actually, is there a forward observers is 2.5. Let's not go crazy. Let's do clean out the mercs. 2 skull. Max pay is just over 1 million sea bills, and the max salvage potential is 4 out of 16. So let's take that. We'll take 3 out of 13 and 400,000 sea bills, and that'll do pretty well for us. So we got mission 1 ready to go here. Let's see. Looks like we had Glitch, Medusa, and Phantom in here before. So Glitch, Medusa, and Phantom is going to be blue team. So since they went last time, they'll go first this time. And we need to make sure that Succubus is in there. So Succubus, let's put you in there. And then this is 2 skull battle. We want to take the Panther out and put the Shadowhawk in. Do we want to mess around with the Black Knight? I mean, we haven't seen it in action yet, I don't think. Am I wrong? I don't think we've seen it in action yet. So let's go ahead. Let's put... You know what? No. Let's leave Glitch in the Enforcer. I know what I want to do for the Black Knight's first outing. So we won't take that out just yet. So we're going to go in with a 1.5 ton or 1.5 star rating or chevron rating lance on a 2 skull mission. And we're going to take that. So it's a battle in the lowlands. Battles at 2 skulls, we're probably not going to be dealing with anything in shoddy, in a shoddy state of repair, i.e. starting with less armor than the maximum. So we'll probably end up running into some, more or less pristine battle mechs, and possibly some upgraded, most likely upgraded pilots as well. So we'll have to see what we run into. I think last episode we did a couple of battle missions that were just against a couple of heavy mechs. I don't remember if they were... remember if they were in shoddy condition or not. I just remember that the first one we had 2 heavy mechs. The second one we had, I think it was 3 heavy mechs and a medium mech, or something like that. So that was interesting. With this, hopefully we'll get something that's a little bit more balanced. Don't get me wrong, I love winning on the contracts, but it's also nice to kind of get a bit of a challenge. So we will see what happens. Had to check and make sure my mic was on. Every once in a while I think I'm on mute, and so I turn it off and I end up muting myself, and then I talk and I don't realize that I've muted myself until like 5 minutes later, so I get a little bit paranoid about it. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet, so. Something else we're talking about doing is once a month live streaming a D&D game. We've got a bit of a gimmick planned for it, but I think it'll be entertaining at the very least, so more details to come on that, kind of as we nail them down. This is taking a long time to load. The music is still going, so I don't think it's frozen. I hope not. There we go. All right. Oh, we're starting with contacts actually pretty close by. So that's interesting. So we've got a medium mech and a heavy mech, most likely. Or possibly a medium mech and a... Let's bring Succubus way around here to the left. I want to kind of get her up on this ridge to come around on this left flank. And hopefully be able to engage this guy, whichever one he ends up happening to be, as he moves forward. It could be two heavy mechs, one of which has like an initiative bonus. We've seen that a few times now, so it could very easily be that. But we don't have any need to kind of like sprint in with anybody else. Everybody else can kind of engage at range, so let's take it a little slower. Oh, there we go. We do have another mech floating around in here. So we're going to move into the tree cover. We're going to brace. And then we will engage on the next turn from a slightly more advantageous position. Now they do have slight elevation on us. If we kind of like lower ourselves down to kind of sea level, so to speak, you can see that they're going to come at us over this little ridge. So they're going to have a little bit of an elevation advantage on us, but I think we can still make it work. Had to sprint the Katyusha to get into the trees, sadly, because it's kind of a slower mech, but that is just the way it is. So let's get Succubus up to here. We can kind of get eyes on these mechs, see what we're dealing with. We're in the trees, so she's got the... So Grand Dragon with a PPC triple plus and a Gauss Rifle plus plus. That's not fantastic. She's got a lot of evasion, luckily, plus she's got a couple of warfare suites that should make it harder for them to target her. Technically, we can get into line of sight with these guys if we wanted to. Okay. Let's get Medusa up here. Let's get an eye on this guy. See kind of what we're dealing with. We've got a Blackjack BJO here in the back. We've got a Trebuchet, AC5 PPC SRM2. I'm going to turn off the medium laser and let's fire with the rotary AC5. We've got a really good chance of hitting. There we go. Inconvenience him a little bit. The Blackjack. I don't know the BJO. That's interesting. Oh, 2 medium rifles. So this guy is going to most likely be a primitive mech. He's got, yep, a primitive engine, primitive armor. So medium rifles are basically the precursors to the autocannon 5? Yeah, the autocannon 5. So they're not quite as accurate. They don't do as much damage. Otherwise, they're just kind of a ballistic weapon. So that's all there is to say about them. They're not very special, but trying to figure out the best location for Phantom to be in. He has a decent shot here against the Blackjack. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him in the Katusha up a bit. Obviously, I want to be gaining some evasion. I don't want him to just stand there. And I'm going to do this. So 37% on both. I mean, at this point, we're kind of just trying to splash some damage. What I'm really hoping is that he's able to take out the right torso here on this trebuchet in order to take out its SRM2s and its PPC. It doesn't need a whole heck of a lot of damage for that to happen. Heck, even just a couple hits, one could crit. Destroy the lower arm. That's not quite what I was going for, but I'll take it. It'll inconvenience him at the very least. So.
Good to go.
Don't have a lot of great shots here either. I think with Glitch, I'm just going to move up and I'm going to brace, and I'm going to kind of see what they decide to do. So we've got the Grand Dragon here. Moving a little bit further away from Succubus than I would have preferred, but that's okay. And for some reason, he didn't engage. That's interesting. Although this guy looks like he's going to. Yep. So that was a PPC. Yeah, so now he's going to have... his shots are going to be all messed up. But that's okay. Yeah, so he did kind of just like run, which is annoying. But that's okay. Succubus is pretty scary, so I guess I can't blame them. We'll brace. Trebuchet is going to do something. Moved a little bit. Well inside the effective range of a PPC, so I wasn't worried about that at all. But now we can actually get Glitch over here with some decent shots. She won't be in the trees, so that's unfortunate. But we will be able to get some decent shots on this guy. And there's no heat buildup to speak of, so I think we just go ahead and take the shots. And that was random number generator, folks. I guess that'll happen. So luckily the random number generator isn't exactly being nice to them either, so I'm not too stressed about it. So let's keep Phantom moving at least a little bit. Oh, that wasn't as much evasion as I was hoping that would build up, but that's okay. Let's go and just do both volleys. This should take off an arm, maybe a side torso. Nope, it crit his PPC though.
That hit something good. Just waiting for orders.
Alright, fine. I guess we'll go ahead and finish this guy off in a spectacular fashion. Let's go ahead and fire both. There we go. Took out his side torso.
Scored a critical hit.
His back is rear center torso is also armorless at this point. Only has 10 points of structure left. I forgot this Grand Dragon is running this Gauss Rifle plus plus. I actually should have been a little bit more concerned about that. But luckily, Glitch is out there deftly evading shots, so we don't have anything to worry about as far as that goes.
Awaiting orders.
Let's go ahead and get... Yeah, let's get Succubus up here to tackle this Grand Dragon. The PPC triple plus is cool. It would actually be really great to get that and put it on the Panther that we've got. So I'm actually thinking I might try to avoid both arms because the Gauss Rifle plus plus might also be good. So let's go ahead and let's just go for a spine shot. See if we can't gently reach into the mech's chassis and remove the spine and see how we do there. Ah! Of course, the one thing it destroyed was the PPC triple plus. That's annoying, but also not entirely surprising. Oh, what do we have up here? A Marauder 5L. That's an interesting mech to run into, and he's also really up high, so that's going to make it kind of a pain to get to. I think that's going to be Succubus's next target. But for the time being, let's get Medusa over here. We've got decent shots at pretty much... Well, we got decent shots at the Grand Dragon and at the Trebuchet. The Trebuchet already moved. The Grand Dragon hasn't. So I'm going to fire at him. Nice. Medusa. Just laying on the hurt. Hey! Wasn't very nice. Blackjack just totally came in and kicked me. What a joik. Alright, let's get Glitched over here to kind of finish picking on the Grand Dragon. We should be able to knock it down with this. I'll include the small lasers. Again, the heat buildup is negligible, so... Nice. We took out the left torso, knocked him down. So he's got 2 pilot injuries. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that result. Let's move this dude, whatever his name is. Phantom. Let's move Phantom back a little. Luckily, because this guy's prone, he's fairly easy to hit, even knock down. And let's just go for... Do we want to go for headshots here? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for headshots. See if we can't deal enough damage to him to just take out the pilot directly. Nope. They all missed. All of them missed his head. We only hit center torso. That's alright. It's not the worst thing in the world. That Marauder's not having much luck taking its pot shots at us. I'm very happy about that. I'm not exactly rooting for him, so he can miss all day long if he wants. The Grand Dragon with the Gauss Rifle is still potentially scary, because a standard Gauss Rifle does 65 damage, I think? Something like that.
Standing by.
And it's very easy for a Gauss Rifle plus plus to be doing... you know what, I'm actually going to go there. It's very easy for a Gauss Rifle plus plus to be doing significantly more damage. If it's got plus damage for one or both of, they could actually do a pretty hefty amount. So Trebuchet is going to come over around the rock. He doesn't have any weapons, so he's basically just kind of running around at this point. I am A-okay with that. I've got no problems with that whatsoever. So let's go ahead and turn off the medium laser. I'm just going to have Medusa fire the rotary AC-5 at the Blackjack. I'd like to inconvenience him as much as possible. That'll do it. Oh, 1 structure left. Alright. So, how do we want to do this? That's the Grand Dragon. I think we want Glitch to keep poking at the Grand Dragon here. She's building up decent evasion. Alright, he's panicked. We should be able to take out the Grand Dragon at this point with Phantom. Or was I able to hit him? Alright, we'll do that. Not ideal when you get right down to it. It's not moving very far, but I'm pretty sure this will hurt him. If not, there it is. Destroy him. Alright, we'll take it. And then the Marauder... Oh, the Marauder just hung out there. Okay, that's... It's a bold strategy. Alright, let's get Succubus up here, and she is going to tangle with the Marauder on top of the hill. I'm sure it'll be very dramatic and epic and everything like that, so I'm curious to see how that'll pan out. I don't know how Marauders do in melee combat. I don't know if they're one of those mechs that's kind of really good at it or not. I don't think they are, but I could easily be wrong. So let's get Glitch over here. She can take a decent shot at this Blackjack from behind. Few misses, but we managed to crit the engine.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
Okay, both arms are pretty damaged. He's eventually not going to have any weapons left, and he's missed every single one of his shots, so I feel kind of bad for him, but not terribly bad for him. Okay, so let's have Phantom. Split fire between these two and see what we can get done. So right arm destroyed. That's awesome. The Blackjack is... Whoops, sorry. Had my keys... Or I had my fingers on the wrong keys when I was trying to move the camera around, so it kind of messed things up there. Let's see. He's still the bigger threat. Not that he's much of a threat, but let's go ahead and just take him out. There we go. No weapons for the Blackjack. Although, medium mechs in melee combat can still be kind of dangerous, so we don't want to take anything for granted.
Commander?
Alright, and then we're going to have... Let's see, what kind of stuff is he running? He's got Fusion Core 285, 2 Plasma Cannons, ERPPC, and the Medium Pulse Laser. He doesn't have anything that I really terribly want, which is kind of a bummer. But, I mean, if we got lucky and just took this guy's head off, nope. That's okay. I wasn't really expecting that to work. Cool. So a nice clean center torso, rear center torso hit. Trebuchet going in for the melee. That's what I was going to say, is a couple of medium mechs in melee can still be a threat. So, luckily, he missed us, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and get... Let's just deal with this guy. I'm going to go with the Blackjack because he hasn't moved yet. So if I can... There we go. If I can blow him up before he moves, then we don't have to worry about him potentially meleeing one of our mechs. I think... There's no reason whatsoever for our man Phantom here to move, so let's just go ahead. We'll send some missiles up at the Marauder as well. Maybe we can knock him down. But when you get right down to it, the Trebuchet is going to be easy pickings for Glitch when she kind of moves up and takes her turn.
Good to go.
So let's get maximum evasion. We're gonna have really good shots. There we go. Boom. Trebuchet is down.
Right when you had the chance.
The Marauder's gonna go. The Marauder is a much bigger mech than the Shadowhawk now that I've seen it. Whoa, he was actually very accurate with those weapons. That's always a little bit scary. But
Standing by.
not scary enough. Didn't even phase Succubus. So let's attack from there. And I'm really hoping that she kind of just takes out the center, like the center torso. Let's not mess around with it. Nope. Dang, got the leg. Well, but now the leg's destroyed, so, you know.
Ready to rock.
Let's go ahead and get Phantom up here. I think what we're going to do is kind of go for legging this guy. I don't know why I just clicked on that. That's not what I wanted. So that's 163, 183 total damage to the center torso versus 175 to the leg. The leg is going to be harder to hit. You know what? Let's just go center torso. Not too terribly worried about bringing this thing home alive when you get right down to it. Oh, he scored a head hit there, though, so that's good. A little bit of extra pilot damage is never a bad thing. Might even convince him to eject a little bit sooner than he might otherwise have done. We're going to keep our other mechs kind of hugging this little hill that the Marauder's on, just so that he can't pop up and take a lucky shot, you know, tag somebody in the head or something like that. So we're going to try to avoid that. I gotta say, the Marauder mech is one of my favorite models. Like, as far as mech design goes, it looks really cool. Okay, so he keeps hitting on that left side, which is kind of annoying.
Make it happen.
Alright, let's have Succubus attack from this side. Hopefully she sweeps the leg here.
Missing physical attack.
That is not the leg. Hey, but that's okay. He panicked, he ejected. I will take that. So, mission successful. We'll get a little bit of a payday. More importantly, we should get some decent salvage. It'd be great if we could pick up a sizable portion of a new mech. That Marauder is kind of juicy looking, but we'll see what happens. And as luck would have it, we actually have 5 pieces of that Marauder F5L. So let's see. Gauss Rifle double plus is just 100% crit. Not bad. Hey, PJ, how's it going? Nice to see you. Glad you could tune in. You just missed Succubus picking on a heavy mech, a Marauder specifically, and forcing him to eject. So that was fun. Fusion Core 285. Actually, that's a really good Fusion Core. Endo Steel is always nice. Some double heat sinks. Laser AMS. Hold on a second. Oh, anti-missile system. Okay. Cool, but not the coolest. Patchwork Materials is kind of nice. Minus 75 tons. We've got an NSS and a Warfare Suite. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing to grab. It's not a bad combination. Huh. do the NSS and the Warfare Suite. We could put those into... I don't know who we would put those into. Maybe put those into the Trebuchet, make it a little bit more survivable. You know what? Sure. Let's try this. Let's grab this. I think we're going to grab the Endo Steel. Because the Endo Steel is never bad to have. That thing is helpful on so many different mech builds. So we're going to do this. Confirm. We got 3 Marauder pieces, which is great. We can keep them, we can sell them, we can do whatever we want to do with them. 2 medium pulse rifles, the Gauss Double Plus, which is surprising. 2 plasma cannons, and a random heatsink. Cool. Good salvage run. Now, whether or not we can actually field all that stuff on the Trebuchet, I don't know. But at the very least, we are looking at some nice components for a future mech build. So, PJ, I saw your post on the Storium page about possibly doing the restart. And it seems like you and Kai are kind of on the same page that the format as is may not be engaging the two of you kind of the way you were hoping. So I'm obviously going to try to wait to see what Valop and Mr. Marcus say, but I'm not opposed to restarting on a game that's kind of focusing just on pilots, because I think, like you had said, I think that might be the crux of why people have kind of lost a little bit of interest. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So we'll talk. Definitely would love to hear your thoughts on the whole thing a little bit more, just because, I mean, you know, you're one of the players and your opinion is important. But in the meantime, we've got some time to pass. Okay. So relatively expensive repair build, but not too lengthy, which is nice. So let's go ahead and grab this guy and see what we can do. So the Warfare Suite is going to cost us £3. That's a lot. 3 whole pounds. And then the Light Pharaoh, oh no, the NSS, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I don't really want to lose game progress for some of the characters. I don't know if the shipboard narrative is something we should scrap altogether, or maybe we should just have everybody only playing one character, either a pilot or a crew member. That actually might get more players coming in if they don't feel like they have to play 2 characters at the same time. So it might be that we go that route. I don't know what your opinion on that is. But as much as I would like to do this kind of setup, I don't think we can really manage it. If we had an ultralight gyro here that I could toss in to save us that 3 tons for the Warfare Suite, I would absolutely go for it. But since we don't, we're going to remove that, and we're going to move the NSS. We got the Light Pharaoh armor. That saves us. That's not even enough to do anything with. Okay. So we're not going to do anything with the Katyusha. We're going to leave it as is. Let's see if we can't do something interesting with this guy. Yeah, we're kind of in the same boat for this little dude. Can't add that in here either. So, does everybody else have Endo Steel? Actually, no, our Black Knight surprisingly does not. Does Endo Steel help him? Gives him 4 or 3.5 tons that he could work with, which means we could toss in. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We've got a couple of medium pulse lasers. We can toss 1 into the 2 different arms. Toss in some light ferro. Need 1 additional slot. I mean, do we need 2 tags? Not really. Of course, if we're going to take out the extra tag, we don't really need to worry about the space. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. So our Alpha Strike is now like double our current heat sinking, but we're not going to be firing all of our weapons at once with this mech anyways. The intention is to use the large X-Pulse lasers until we get within range, switch over to the medium X-Pulse lasers, you know, maybe bouncing back and forth between the large X-Pulse lasers. Then, if we get within even closer range, then we can bring our medium pulse lasers to bear. So we've got basically weapons we can fire at multiple ranges, so overlapping distances and stuff like that, and it significantly increases our firepower. Our Alpha Strike is 298 right now, so that's pretty significant. If we did have to use it, we could lay out some serious power, but that leaves the problem of us being like 0.5 tons low. I can make up a little bit of that by maxing out our armor. I'm not opposed to this. Let's give it a try. I haven't even tried it yet, and I'm already messing with the build. You see what the problem with Battletech is? Let's do it. Yeah, I agree. Like, Kai really seems to be working well with his crew member character, so I think we should at least look at it. Now, I know that we've got a couple of crew members that are also being pretty active along with the pilots. Like, I know Valop does, you know, he's pretty active with GV, and he's pretty active with Bex. And I know that Mr. Marcus plays a lot with Val. So it's possible that if we switched over to a new game, those two would continue playing both characters. I'm open to that in the new format, just so that we don't lose too much in the what's the term I want to use? Just so we don't lose too much in the transition. But we can always talk about that. Let's go ahead and let's grab another contract. We're going to switch over to Red Team now. I think we're going to go for something a little bit tougher because we do have raiding party. 2.5 skull mission. Let's go ahead and do raiding party. We are going to go a little bit higher on the salvage because we'll get paid pretty well here. And let's see what we can do. So Succubus, Glitch, Medusa, Phantom, you're out. GV, you're in the Enforcer, at least for the moment. Behemoth in the Shadowhawk. Decker in the Centurion. And Rebel in the Katyusha. But, we're actually going to take Behemoth out of the Shadowhawk, and we're going to put in the Black Knight. Which means, yes, I know, no Shadowhawk. A little bit, you know, a little bit different, a little bit new. We've taken the Shadowhawk out on pretty much every single mission. But in Behemoth's background, she actually piloted I want to say it's an Austral mech, which is a heavy mech, and it's a laser-based heavy mech. So from an in-character narrative perspective, the commander has decided that she is the best pilot to kind of take the Black Knight out for an inaugural test run, because she's the only one that has experience in heavy mechs, according to the canon of the story. So it makes sense. We're going to run with it. And the Shadowhawk is going to hang out in the mech bay with Succubus on this mission. So GV and the Enforcer kind of running around, being squirrely and fast and staying at longer distance until he needs to close. Rebel in the missile boat. Decker in the Centurion laying down that Rack 5 fire. And we'll see how the Black Knight rolls. All right. I also feel like it might be worth it if we reset to set the enemy strength back up to a normal level. Maybe not, because we're talking about making some challenges in, if we do reset, we're talking about resetting the challenges and having them be actually directly affecting the upcoming episode. And so you might have a pilot who goes into the mission drunk, and thus is, you know, operating at much reduced proficiency or capacity, or what's the word I'm looking for there? You guys know what I mean. Anyways, so we might stick with the lower difficulty. I'm not sure yet. So, all right, we're gonna move up and we're gonna engage some stuff.
Yes, Commander.
Now, Behemoth, in the Black Knight, she does have the, I think it's the quirk. Yeah, this Black Knight has the quirk that allows it to act earlier in the initiative, so that's pretty cool.
Thy will be done.
Gets to act as a medium mech,
Double tap.
so we're all operating kind of as a pack, as a cohesive unit. Getting GV up here. No sensor traces yet. Gonna stay in the trees. Build up max evasion. I think this is an okay approach.
Receiving it.
Luckily, they're all relatively the same speed, these mechs, at least when sprinting. Actually, I take that back. The Black Knight's pretty slow, but at the very least, the Black Knight started at the front of the pack, so it was able to kind of stay on the same firing line as the other two frontliners. Well, not really frontliners, but you know what I mean. So, let's get... I think I kind of want GV to take the ridge. I want him to kind of circle up to the left, try to get onto slightly higher ground, so he's kind of... I want GV to basically be operating in this area, so that if we engage them, like when they're down here on the road, I want him to be shooting down in this direction, kind of using the elevation to his advantage. And then if they come up this way, then we can kind of bring them further around here, or we can even have them up here kind of on the top of this extra hill, using the elevation in there. And then Rebel, I really kind of want to just park her back in this little copse of trees and not really deviate from that location, because she's got the reach. She kind of just needs a safe place to lay down the missiles.
What's up, boss?
And then Behemoth and Decker we're gonna have go up as a little pair, and probably come in along this approach, kind of between this this larger boulder and this rough terrain. Kind of have them squeak in between those so that they can engage no matter which direction the enemy goes. That's the plan.
Commander.
We all know that the plan doesn't really last very long once the enemy shows up, but we'll see what happens. Still no sensor traces, which is a little bit weird, but I guess if they're kind of just hanging out back there waiting for us, that would explain it. So we've got a turn 4 and a turn 2. Most likely it's another one of those heavy mechs that's got the command console and the initiative quirk operating at turn 4. Hopefully it's more than just the 2 mechs, but I guess we will find out. Now that we've got sensor traces on them, we'll more likely see them moving
What's up, boss?
or we will more than likely see them moving a little bit on subsequent turns. So hopefully they'll come a little bit closer. It's possible they're just kind of hanging out, baiting us, waiting for us to get closer. If this is one of those missions where we spend several turns kind of moving in towards these sensor traces that we've got, and then all of a sudden they drop reinforcements on us, like way down over here or something like that, that would be kind of cool. I would not object to that. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but... Alright, so we've got Rebel in the Katusha up in the little spot that I mentioned I wanted her to be in. So she's going to kind of park there and hang out.
Yes, Commander.
GV, I don't want him to be kind of the first one within line of sight of these guys. So I'm going to move him forward a little bit, keep him in the trees, brace. He should be safe there. I mean, ideally, I want them to engage Behemoth first. Oh, I can't engage along this. I can't travel along this particular line without going into the rough terrain, which I guess isn't the end of the world. I don't think they're going to be able to shoot at me this turn anyways. So let's just go ahead and do it. But I miscalculated that. I didn't take a close-up look of how steep this particular kind of rock face was. So that's my fault for misjudging that, but that's okay. Luckily, it happened far enough out from engagement range that we're not going to pay for it. Although, if it's going to just jump in like that, then maybe... Ah! Okay, this Basilisk decided to come pick on GV out of nowhere. And, wow, it's got 3 LRM triple pluses. I'd like to get one of those for the Katusha. 2 light PPCs, 2 ER medium lasers, and a boatload of evasion because of that jump. That was not what I was expecting, folks. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what we can do with this. First off, let's get Decker up here in the Centurion, and let's kind of get up in this thing's face. I kind of want to leave this guy down here while we deal with this dude, the Basilisk. It's got a targeting computer. It's possible that it's got that... No, it acted on initiative 2, so maybe I'm wrong. Alright, we actually managed to do a fair number of hits on that. Is that an urban mech? I think it was. Yep. Just a regular little urban mech UMP, so it's a pirate urban mech, or as I like to call them, a CHUMP. It's got a couple of pepper box rifles. They're kind of like the AC version of, sorry, the medium or light rifle version of an LBX. So it's like a little shotgun type of thing. It's got a tagger, it's got a pirate medium laser, and it had 2 rocket launcher 15s, but it's now made use of those, so not as much to worry about there. Let's go ahead and... Whoa, this is not ideal. I'm going to move Phantom, and then I'm going to hope that we can actually knock this unsteady so he loses some of his evasion. Yes! Alright.
Ready for orders.
I'm receiving.
Let's get GV over here, taking some shots. Alright. I'm okay with this. Let's do it. Oh! Failed his stability check. And actually, GV hit almost all of those shots. He only missed 1 small laser. And managed to knock the Basilisk down. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I think now at this point we get...
Confirmed.
Yeah, I think now at this point we get Behemoth and the Black Knight up here, and we execute him. So this is our Alpha Strike. We're looking at just over our heat threshold doing this. If we take out 2 of these medium lasers, it leaves us a hair underneath our threshold, which is fine. And now we can go ahead and we can decide how we want to target this dude. Looks like his LRM-20s are in his arms, so I really don't want to destroy those. What do we have in the center torso? We've got an XL gyro and an XL engine and endo steel. Jeez, I really don't want to destroy this thing. He's got a targeting computer in the head. I know I do this a lot, but I'm just going to fire for the head. If we can get a couple good headshots, maybe we can just take this guy out. It didn't happen, sadly, but that's okay. We can still hopefully do something with him. Okay, he's jumping again, which is an interesting choice. Alright, so because he moved and jumped, really low chance of hitting. I'm very pleased with that. How are you able to see the Katyusha from there? Oh, I guess technically this guy has line of sight, so... Alright, we're going to have Rebel do do her thing. She's going to move back here, and she's going to fire missiles, hopefully putting this guy off center. Not quite, but pretty darn close. I think we want Decker to be the next person to come over here and fire. We can get in from the thing's we can get into the thing's rear arc, pardon me, and take some shots. So guarantee one of these is going to hit and take away the evasion. So that's perfect. I think at this point we have GV come back over here, take some more shots, hopefully knock it down. If we can knock it down again, we're in really good shape. Ah, okay, well.
Standing by.
Alright, I think we turn off the the large X-pulse lasers, because they're going to generate a lot of our heat. And now we can kind of remain heat neutral while firing all the rest of our weapons. And hopefully we're able to knock him down with these, or at the very least... There we go, nice, got it knocked down. Okay, health is 2 of 4. Awesome. So this thing's got enough armor. If we keep attacking it kind of from different angles, we might be able to just knock it down a couple more times. And that's fine. Got a couple LRM-20 or LRMs to the rear arc, but that's not the end of the world for us. I'm going to let the little urban mech keep trucking around down there. He's kind of cute, just, you know, not really doing anything to us. So he jumped again, so he's still unsteady. Sadly, our chances to hit him are going to be not as good this time around. But if we get enough missiles on target, yeah, we actually did pretty well with that. I'm happy with the way that turned out. And we're going to keep doing the same thing. We're going to keep trying to knock him down, use this Rack 5. Because of that arm mount, the recoil penalty is relatively negligible. And so it's still a pretty good chance to hit. Alright, nice. And we managed to knock him unsteady again. That's perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to try to knock him down. So with any luck, GV can do that. And then we'll figure out what to do with what's her name in a second. But we crit his engine. He's tagged. So I mean, really, this guy's done. We just gotta have to finish him off. I'd like to do that while preserving one of these LRM triple pluses, if at all possible. I think we just took out a torso. We did. So that sadly means we destroyed the XL engine, but the XL gyro is still around, which means we can put the XL gyro into the trebuchet. We can then fit the NSS and the warfare suite. So that's actually this is a good mission all around as far as picking up salvage goes. The little Irby is kind of a, you know, that's fine, whatever. But let's bleed off some of that heat so we can do another alpha strike on this guy. And then let's have, I think we have Behemoth finish him off. Yeah, I think we have Behemoth finish him off. Now, there's no danger of us kind of going over our heat threshold with this guy. He's the last mech. Oh, really? You have got to be kidding me. The random number generator is... It is what it is. Let's just say that. It is what it is. I cannot believe I missed like 4 90% and above shots in that volley. But I guess I should just come to expect that at this point. So let's see. I guess we have Decker finish it with the Rack 5, huh? Maybe? We'll fire with everything. No, still standing. I will say that for urban mechs. They are sturdy little jerks. There we go. That's a good shot for the Enforcer. Raised elevation. Green numbers across the board to hit, although that doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot for me, as we just witnessed. I missed with a 94.9% on the AC2. You gotta be kidding me. So in one turn, that was 5 or more misses on 90% shots. Like, that's just... That's appalling. Oh, little urban mech just actually managed to hit us with that pepperbox rifle. You're so cute, Irby. Alright, let's try this one more time. Clearly there was some kind of dirt in the optics, in the firing optics for the Black Knight. We're going to go ahead and max out heat. What do we care? We're kind of just trying to vaporize this thing and get rid of all of his component pieces for the loot table. Alright, there we go. So it's an arm, a side torso, and a head left for the urban mech. That's fine, because we're going to get the pieces that we wanted. Specifically, our Trebuchet is going to get some really nice upgrades this time around. Alright, so we got a few Basilisk pieces. Basilisks are actually pretty decent mechs, but they're not what I want this time around. I want the Gyro XL. And then what else do I want? I get my pick of whatever else is here. The Endo Steel is cool, but we've got plenty of it. Oh, hold on a second. I think I'm going to go with this heatsink cooling pod. That'll be good to put on the Black Knight. It'll actually reduce the overall heat generated by 3%, which it may not seem like a whole heck of a lot, but it's pretty significant. And it's only 1 ton, so we can definitely find space for that. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if we're generating 150 heat per weapon volley, or like per alpha strike, then minus 3%, it ends up being... You know, what is that, 7%-ish? Something like that. So we'll see how it does, but I think that'll be a good addition, especially if we get rid of one of the standard heat sinks. 34,000, 3 days for the repairs. We got just enough money that we're going to be fine on our financial report. Now let's go ahead and let's make these guys a little bit better, shall we? So we wanted the Warfare Suite, we wanted the NSS armor, and we want the XL Gyro. We don't have enough slots, because of course we don't. Why would we? That's right, I need an ultralight gyro, not an XL gyro, because this saves tonnage, but takes up 2 extra slots. So much for that plan, but that's okay. We're working up to it. What I do want is this other LRM 20 triple plus. Because now we're looking at +1 damage for both of them, the additional accuracy, the additional evasion ignore for both. So this guy is just going to be one heck of a monster. And you know what I just realized? Lower arm actuators compared to upper arm actuators. That's... I'd only be saving myself one slot. Would it be worth it? Can I make that work? So if I did the XL gyro, if I took that out, put the NSS in, then did the warfare suite. Nope, I'm one slot shy. Technically, I could take out a heat sink, I suppose. But they didn't have lower arm actuators in here, did they? I don't think they did. And if they don't have a lower arm... Oh, they do. Haha. Boom. There we go.
New equipment available.
See, it just takes a little bit of... Okay. I take that back. Apparently... That works. Sweet. Okay. So actually, we were able to keep the heat sink... So we're still perfectly heat neutral on this mech. Our firepower increases by a little tick. Our warfare suite and our NSS are going to make this guy even harder to hit. So a little bit more survivability on the Katyusha in case something does close within engagement range. So that's not too bad. Let's jump into the Black Knight real quick. The Light Pharaoh. Okay, well... although I'm realizing that I actually don't have... Heatsink cooling pod is... Alright. Yeah, one additional slot. Okay. Well, I think we do that because that's going to improve our heat efficiency a bit. We traded a few pips of armor in a couple locations, but I think that's fine. So let's roll with it. And I think we've got enough time to fit one more mission in. Kind of like normal, so...
That work order you submitted is complete.
I want to try something a little bit different this time around. I'm gonna mix up our lance composition, and I'm gonna try something a little bit different. So I'm actually gonna go for an even harder mission. I think let's go with this 3 skull battle. Let's do that. Then we're going to take off the Enforcer. Take GV out. Put in the Shadowhawk. Put in Succubus. I think we want Decker in the Centurion still, because he's got that higher gunnery, so he makes really good use of that Rack 5. And then we're going to keep Rebel in the new improved Katyusha, although I do want to see if we've got enough XP to spend on anybody there. So we got Behemoth in the Black Knight, nothing there. Decker, I mean, we could give him the -5 heat generation. It's actually not a bad choice for him, because that Centurion doesn't get super hot. We'll hang on to it for now. Succubus, no, she doesn't have to worry about gunnery. And then Rebel, we don't have to worry about heat generation on her either. Okay, so we're actually good. Just a slight... Actually, I don't think we even increased Decker. No, we didn't. So let's jump in there. We're going to take Max Salvage. 'cause that's the only way we're gonna get anything good. So we've got GV and the Enforcer coming off, and then Succubus and the Shadowhawk, Decker and the Centurion, and you know what? Let's make this a true mixed lance, and we'll have Phantom come out in the Katusha. So I think this will work out pretty well. We've got it's 2 full chevrons for our lance quality and 3 skulls for the battle. I think we can still manage it. Let's give it a try. Watch it throw like 1 full lance of 4 heavy mechs at us, plus some reinforcements. All right. So we've got what map is this? Okay. It's an interesting map. The enemy is kind of tucked back up here in the corner, but we could easily run into some reinforcements. So let's go ahead and bring Succubus and the Shadowhawk up here. Keep her in the trees. Yep, reinforcements. There we go. And they're actually pretty close by as well. Alright. So let's see what we run into.
Commander. On my way. Double time.
So we've got a turn 3 mech running over there. Let's get actually going to make use of Decker's jump jets here to jump into these trees and brace. It's a decent amount of evasion. I'm definitely not displeased with it.
We got company.
Let's get Phantom up in the trees. That NSS is actually going to be really beneficial for Phantom, for the Katusha in general, just because it was so slow that movement would normally only build up 1, maybe 2 pips of evasion, and now it's giving a minimum of 3, so I'm very pleased with that. Let's kind of take a look from sea level real quick, kind of scan around. So we've got a lot of like rocks and cliffs over on the right. Not going to be able to do much with that terrain, so we're kind of actually we're hemmed in a lot. This is a very, very tiny engagement area. It's going to make for, if we've got 2 full lances, it's going to make for a very tight quarters here in a second. So let's get
On my way.
Succubus over here kind of scouting out this enemy lance on the left. See what we're dealing with. It looks like it might just be two enemies over here. At least that's all that's in sensor range for right now. Another medium mech here. That's a Vindicator. Okay. I think we go ahead and have Decker just engage the Vindicator there with the targeting computer and ignoring his brace. We're sitting pretty. We're sitting pretty attacking this guy. Looks like all 3 of those, 3 of the shots hit, and all 3 of them went to that leg. So it should be easy to leg him, drop him down onto the ground. I think that was another Vindicator there. That's interesting. Oh man, our LRM-20s, these are beautiful. That's going to be the biggest thing about switching over to a new campaign, would be not having the same mechs, because we've invested quite a bit into them, and this Katusha is a monster. especially now that we've got that extra LRM 20 triple plus. The Shadowhawk is pretty gnarly. Obviously, we've got a lot we can do with the Shadowhawk to make it even better, but it's not bad for what it is. Whoa, that guy's rocking an AC 20. That Centurion isn't messing around.
What's up, boss?
Let's show it that we're not messing around either, shall we? So this is kind of perfect opportunity to just fire the large X-Pulse lasers. Decent chances to hit. We're going to turn off the Clan medium pulse. We'll keep the tag going because it's a negligible heat, if any. And let's see what we get. Nice. Actually, one of the large X-Pulse lasers hit. 50 damage. Expose the left torso structure. So I'm pretty happy there. Although we've got a turn 1 mech here. So it looks like an assault mech. So we're going to have to be very careful with that. Let's get Succubus in here to tickle this Centurion. See if we can make it laugh. Attacking from the same side that we exposed the structure on, so we should be able to kind of tear right through this thing with any luck. Oh yeah, boom, there we go. AC 20 gone. Exposed the center torso already. Lots of center torso damage from the chainsword, and he's going down. Yep, there we go. Nice. Sorry, PJ. I missed which part you agreed with. What were you on board with? Hi, Kudo. Sorry, folks. Quick cat petting break. Hi. Yeah. Oh, that's a good boy. Yeah. Hello. No, you're okay. You're okay. Just making room for you. All right.
Ready to rock.
All right. So let's get. In this case, I think we're going to have Phantom go ahead and take pot shots at both of the downed targets. Pretty good chances to hit both. Okay, yeah, I definitely like the mechs we've got. I mean, it wouldn't take long to build it back up. Honestly, what I would probably do is play offline a few missions to kind of get us back up to where we are at, more or less, just so that we can kind of forego some of the early days and stuff like that. Sorry, my cat's been a bit standoffish this evening, and all of a sudden he's decided he wants pets. So I don't want to turn him down. All right. Now that that's very, very crucial item is taken care of, let's go ahead and move Decker in. And we did have another Vindicator. It's a Pirate Vindicator this time around. Let's see if we can't strip some armor off of him. Some armor or some arms, either way. I'm not one to complain. We'll get Behemoth and the Black Knight up here. She'll have really good shots with several of her weapons, actually. So let's go ahead and just do this. We don't want to build up too much heat before we tangle with that assault mech. So let's see what we can work out here. Nice. Got a leg taken off. Damaged his center rear torso. Damaged his left arm. Cool. Making quick work of these guys. And this dude with, like, he's basically just scrap at this point. His LRM-10 isn't going to add much to the fight. So, he barely even moved. He didn't brace. He knows he's done. So let's get Succubus up here. I'm going to bounce Succubus up to this guy.
Copy that.
Let's go ahead and stomp him while he's on the ground. Finish him off. And then we will engage the assault mech in a moment. I'll have Phantom launch some missiles at that Centurion that's there. Okay, nice. Alright, yeah, that Vindicator is toast. Oh, I forgot the Centurion was going to get to move again. That's okay, mistake. It's not like he's really going to pose any threat to the Shadowhawk, even from the rear arc. I mean, she's got so much evasion and everything. So let's get... oh, what are we working with here? Ooh, a Stone Rhino King Crab. These are awesome. Look at all those Clan Pulse Lasers. A couple of Clan Gauss Rifles. Ooh. I gotta say, these are a thing of beauty. A little bit less so when you consider the fact that he's got such minimal armor. The great thing about finding an assault mech early on is if they've got full armor, you can kind of just go ham on them and then just knock them over and deal pilot damage, and you can capture more or less a full mech. When they kind of come in at this pirate-like shoddy condition or ramshackle condition, oh wow, ramshackle is even worse than shoddy. It's only 25% of its normal armor. Like, we're going to cut through this thing's armor and destroy components at the drop of a hat. So we're going to have to be very precise about how we like kind of move into this, move in and engage this guy. I'm going to try to leg him, I think is going to be my strategy, using a lot of called shots. But we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that here in a minute. For right now, I'm going to get... Actually, I don't want... Yeah, there we go. I don't want to get Phantom too close to that thing because one good volley from it could easily take out one of my mechs. And I don't want that mech to be Phantom. I'm only going to fire one volley at this thing because it's only got 14 hit points left in its center torso. One volley was enough. Let's save the extra 20 missiles because this guy may give us some trouble. We're going to stay up on elevated position. Nice, we've got him tagged. We hit him in the center torso, but more importantly, we also hit his left leg, or sorry, his right leg. So I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out already. I think we're going to get... Let's get Decker in close. We got a 90% chance to shoot, or to hit. I'm going to offensive push, drops our chance to hit down to 65.5, but we're going to go for this leg. Alright, nice. Managed to get the leg. Still got a lot of structure. Ooh, ow, ow. Okay. So hit with the two large Clan Pulse Lasers. It's always a little bit concerning on the Black Knight, but the Black Knight's got enough armor to kind of soak that. And then managed to tag... Ooh, okay. Managed to tag Decker with one of the medium pulse lasers. Missed the Katyusha at long range with both of those Clan Gauss rifles. So that's good news. Now, Succubus, don't go too crazy here. Go for the leg. Okay, that's fine. Nice. All right, we actually did manage to get mostly a leg shot there. So I'm happy about that. I don't necessarily want to do anything there. I am going to move Phantom in a little bit. He has decent tactics, so he's going to have a called shot bonus. So I think we want to go this leg. So we didn't get the legs, but we did get the knockdown, which is good because that's going to make it easier for everybody else to hit kind of what we want them to hit. So let's bring Decker over. We're going to go for that leg again. We're just going to keep hammering on this leg. And we're getting there. It's taking some time, but we're getting there. Let's get the Black Knight over here on the other side just of this rock. Unfortunately, we can't get any closer from there, and it's not an ideal position to be in when you get right down to it. So let's go for the same leg. I mean, we scored a head hit, so I'm not going to argue with that at all. Only got a little bit of health left in the head, actually. We may We may end up trying to go for that headshot finisher. Maybe we can collect the rest of the Stone Rhino. That'd be fantastic. Okay. Misses. Oh, look, just unloading on the Shadowhawk, and luckily managed to weather the storm. Most of them missed. Not really that surprising when you get right down to it. And he's going to be fairly easy to hit, so we're going to go called shot on the head. Let's see if we can't. Let's see if we can't hit some. Come on, we need like 3 hits to the head. None of those were to the head. All right. So we're gonna go back to called shots on the leg. Survey says had some success. That's good. Get a little bit closer in. We want high chances to hit because we're still going to do the offensive push. Let's go for left leg. It's got the least structure left. Okay, we actually did really well with that. And then we're not going to melee in this particular case. We're going to... Oh, well, I guess we should have melee because we don't have enough to do a...
Reporting critical hit. My flamer
What's
is
what I'm looking for? Called shot. But that's okay, because now he's got only 1 health left. So if we can take out a leg... Ideally, I'd rather not take out a leg at this point. I'd rather just take out his head, if at all possible. Whether or not we'll be able to manage that, probably not, but... So the question is, do we risk it with a called shot to the head from Phantom?
Copy that.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to turn off all but one of these. I'm going to hope...
You like that?
Ah, panic level critical.
Aye, aye.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did not work out the way I wanted it to. Alright, I think at this point, we don't have any other options, really. Let's just take the shots, see where it kind of lands. Yeah, there we go. Oh, of course we got the leg in the last volley. That's fine.
Mission.
I really was actually hoping for leg at that point because I wanted to take out I wanted to leave the torso intact so we could get some cool stuff from that. But no such luck. So, but that's okay. It was a good mission overall. Black Knight working out pretty well. I think we've got the heat issue more or less sorted. I'm still going to try to get some better heat management tools on it if we continue with this particular build. But overall, I'm pretty pleased. What do we have? We have some really good stuff in here, actually. We've got some clan heat sinks. We've got some... There's some clan double heat sinks, excuse me. 1 ton versus 2 slots. I think they usually take up 1 ton versus 3 slots. So that's pretty good. Ferrolamella armor is cool. Enhanced imaging, minus 10% reduced damage taken, plus 5% weapon damage dealt. That's really cool. We've got an XL engine, a Clan XL engine, Clan Endo Steel. So it actually takes up fewer slots. Those are great. We got some we've got some good salvage here. Sadly, not enough to finish up one of our mechs that we're trying to work on, but you know, you take what you can get. I don't think we really want any of the Vindicator pieces. The King Crab 2C is great, Especially it comes with that improved shooting quirk, but we're not going to get a full one because we've only got 4 pieces and we need 6, and we'd only get to select 3 anyways, so we'd have to gamble on getting the 4th one. We have too many kind of mech pieces just sitting around in our cargo hold anyways. So I feel like we should grab, I think the Endosteel, the Clan Endosteel, the Clan XL engine, the enhanced imaging. Who needs that? Is there anybody that doesn't have a cockpit mod right now? I mean, that's good, but I don't know if it's as good as the Fusion Core 300. Fusion Core 300 would be great if we do end up getting any more assault mechs or any, or any more heavy mechs or an assault mech or something like that. So I think we're going to grab that, just kind of have it sitting around. We got 1 piece of the Centurion, Stone Rhino, and Vindicator each. Who knows, maybe the Centurion will actually finish off that Yenlo Wang Centurion we've got sitting around. We got the Clan Gauss Rifle, the Clan Large Pulse, and Clan Small Pulse. A Pirate Small Laser, which I'll probably just sell. Alright. Not bad salvage, all things considered. We will take a moment to cross our fingers and ask for the RNG to be kind to us with that Centurion piece, but I don't think it's likely. So it's kind of a token, if you don't mind, since you're in the area type of thing. Maybe? Possibly? Nope. That's okay. So let's go ahead and work through all the repairs that need to be done. Let's jump into the mech bay and see what we can kind of finagle with our folks. So the Katyusha does not have a cockpit mod. Everybody else that kind of... It's going to sound terrible. Don't take this wrong, Panther. Everybody else who kind of matters does have a cockpit mod. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the... where is it? Where did it go? Did I not take the... Oh, I didn't take the stupid enhanced imaging thing. Derp, derp, derp. That's okay. That is not the end of the world. XL Engine Clan. The Katyusha already has one. Is there anybody else that I think needs that XL Engine? Not really. Is there anything that the Shadowhawk is missing other than, like, weapons? If I tossed this on here, that would give us... Actually, that would give us a fair amount of room to work. We could toss another rocket launcher in. All of a sudden, we could have... Let's see... A medium pulse laser there, but that's messing with the heat really bad. I like having the rocket launcher in there. I think that's kind of a good idea. In the long run, though, I just don't know if it's necessary. What do we have for ballistics? Yeah, no, that Ultra AC-20, that's not going to work. We've got some machine guns. I think we messed around with some machine guns on this build before, and we were underwhelmed with it. I mean, let's just see what we can... Let's just see what we can do with it. See if we can have any kind of fun at all here. And then we need some machine gun ammo. Oh, that falls in under here, doesn't it? Yep, machine gun ammo. Nah. Let's take a look over here, though. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's do the clan there. Let's do... What do you mean, not enough free slots? Oh, they mean in the central area, I think. Nope. Ah, bummer. Okay. So that's a big no. Yeah, it's not even worth it. Alright, so we got some pieces that we can use for another mech in the future, but for right now, we don't have much else going on. Yeah. I think that's it for the episode tonight, folks. We're sitting at an hour and 40 minutes, which is kind of what we're averaging in general for episodes, and I think that's the ideal length. Get through 3 missions, kind of get to play around with the new Black Knight, which I gotta say, very pleased with the way it worked out. Those X-Pulse lasers, you know, are a good combination. The medium and large ones that we've got, I kind of like having the tag on there. If we can toss another one on there, great. We'll figure that out later. Hold on, if we did the light Pharaoh, that's right, it requires an additional slot. We've done this often enough, you'd think I would remember it by now. But yeah, I like the pulse laser build there, the X-Pulse lasers in the arms. Just overall, I'm very pleased with the way the build worked. And the heat management was pretty much spot on. So yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. Next episode, there might be some changes. There might not be some just yet. I don't know if we're going to change it up. If we are, I'm not sure how long it's going to take to kind of get that dialed in. If we aren't able to get it set up before the next episode or the episode after that, then what we'll do is we'll probably just go ahead and continue playing this and streaming this for the time being. And then once we kind of get things set up, I will, between episodes, switch over to the new version of Roguetech, play through to kind of get us to more or less where we're at now as far as the company goes, so that we can kind of just jump right back into the story without it really messing anything up too much. At least that's the plan. So, at the very least, we will see you next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, right here on the Ravensdale Twitch channel. If you have any questions, feel free to, send them my way. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, all that stuff. So you can find us just by, searching for that particular social media platform, Ravensdale Publishing, and I'm sure we'll pop right up as the first option. And if you want to check out the story, please do. Just keep in mind that we do have slots open for new players if you wanted to come in and grab a pilot, either before the changeover or after if we end up changing. So, yeah, thanks again. Have a good night, and see you next time. And PJ, thanks very much for tuning in as always. Catch you on the flip side.